I think so many patients aren't going out or not getting their care that they need because they're staying at home. And this could be a solution for them to use. And so I just hope that it can go to somebody that can really utilize it and make the most of it.
Absolutely, and she's selling this beautifully equipped and sophisticated technology is equipped in here.
This is just a great compliment, or it can be just the primary way of doing business also. And it should expand. I think the more that people realize that this is out there and it becomes more mainstream, I think it will be the new norm, and that's what I envision it to do.
So our guest today here at the Docpreneur Leadership Podcast here at Concierge Medicine Today and the Concierge Medicine Forum is Stacy Gilyan, and she is the owner of DermaFix. And we have a unique conversation today centered around the mobility side of what she has created and is now releasing to the world to say, this is available for you. So Stacy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So yes, well, it's great to hear from you. I love your Christmas tree there in the background. But even if you're listening to the replay of this in possibly January or February of next year, we are talking about something that's pretty timely, which is related to mobile medicine. And you have a presentation that we want to go through because actually you have the purpose of this today is to highlight this unique van that you have created, this Mercedes, Sprinter van, I believe. And what you have created is so elegant, so sophisticated, clean, and it's ready and it's for sale for someone in the healthcare space to really take this to help a lot of people. And it's amazing. You're going to be blown away by the photos. I certainly was. And I think that you have a unique story behind it and can certainly share with us and share with the physicians, the nurses, those in healthcare who are entrepreneurial minded about what the possibilities are with this Mercedes Sprinter van that's elegantly and so technologically equipped to help patients and physicians and grow a business. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk a little bit about that, and then you're welcome to share your presentation when you're ready.
Okay, great. Well, it took quite a while to make this van. We had to really go by the guidelines of TDLR here in Texas. So there was a lot of little laws and things that they put in place that we had to make sure we had, which is the hot and cold water, the toilet, and it also has to be self-sufficient. So you can't go and plug into someone's home so that's when I brought in the solar panels and had them all fitted to the van with the machines to make sure we had enough electricity in there with running it, for a couple hours at a time. And it came together and it's a beautiful product, and it was a labor of love, this van, and everything was working great. COVID hit and just had my dock lined up, and then I kind of had to put the brakes on because I have a son that has some autoimmune issues and asthma, and I needed to say, wait a second here, this might need to go to someone else, and someone else can really benefit and utilize it, and that would be great. So that's.
And for those wondering what TDLR is that something that's a federal kind of guideline that we need to make sure that mobile medical things are equipped with? Tell us a little bit about what that is and the applicability of taking this, saying, well, I'm a physician in Florida or I'm a nurse in California. I'd like to use something like this. I'd like this. So, but how will I have to adapt it to my state, or is it already kind of there?
Well, I think from what I know, Texas was one of the first to implement this. our van was actually the first to get um, the inspection, the annual inspection. They came and it was the first one he had ever done.
Wow.
So, TDLR is the licensing and regulations here in the state of Texas. And so I would imagine that if state to state isn't the same, it should be. I think what they wanted to do was kind of get people away from going into the homes or businesses of people and the Botox parties and things like that, just to make sure that, you do need water and it does need to be cleaned and sanitized, and you shouldn't, have cats running around on the counters or, things like that. I think that's why the state started this. And I'm not sure state to state. I think, it was on the upper end of it. It's not the ladder. So I think, I'm not sure. I looked into Florida and California and they seem to be jiving. It seems to all be kosher. So
Yeah, I think usually what's usually done in one state is usually some of the similar guidelines. And again, you've done a wonderful job, you and your team, of putting together this exceptional, sophisticated. Go ahead and pull up your presentation, and folks can see what we're talking about here. Our guest today is Stacy Gilyan. She's the owner of Dermafix. And what you're about to see is pretty neat. We'll go over some of the details about what's inside of the van, what it's capable of, and maybe some of the questions that you've been fielding from healthcare providers, facilities, centers, nurses, physicians, etc. So we'll let you go ahead and pull that up to full screen, and then go ahead and just jump in.
Yes, let me see here. I'm going to make it. Sorry about this. Let's get this.
No, you're good.
There we go.
There we go.
So
all right, well, let you go ahead and kick it off.
Yes, this is the van. You can see it's the single wheel base in the back. It's like driving a car. It's very easy. It has a great turning radius. So it needed to be the extended because of the restroom that has never been used. Actually, I had the gentleman that helped me finish the van. He placed there's like a little container that goes over it so the patient can use it as a changing room. But that's there. It can be used, but it has not been used. And the sink is back there, as well as a nice towel warmer. And you could even put the centrifuge back there. There's a counter space next to the sink. And there's shelving up there, and everything can be contained and not move around. That was another one of the regulations, that everything was tied down in some way so it couldn't move during transit. So so this is it. This is the van. We have tinted windows, lane assistance. It's brand new. The van has 4,500 miles on it. It's ready to go. And everything in it has only been used, for my friends and family for the last couple months. So, so that's it on the outside.
And it's pretty easy to get a wrap done for another brand. Talk about the wrapping process. Go back to the photo for a moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I went to get the van wrapped, I was initially thinking of, black car, not advertising for it. And the guys that wrapped it were like, no, this is such a great deal. You have to advertise and put it on there. So that was under their recommendation. I think it's still, if we take the wrap off, it's still the black, traditional color of black Mercedes. This is black satin. So it's not a matte, but it's not a high gloss finish either. But
Gotcha.
It wouldn't be anything to take it off. And I think it was maybe $4,000 to wrap it. Yeah, no big deal to take it off. Or if somebody wanted, I could have my guys put another logo on it and stuff. It's just down the road from me.
And for those listening, usually, if you have a professional take a wrap off of a car, it does not harm the paint. So.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. So yeah, that's how that happened. And the logo and stuff is on there, the Dermafix with the D and the F. So that's in the background. It can come with that, if somebody's wanting an aesthetics band, they could take this over and make it, to their city, or there's things that I could discuss with somebody if they were interested in the logo and the branding of it. So the next slide, what we have here is, adjusting to this and having a provider come to your home or your business. And I believe the best part about the van right now, if a provider wanted to use it, was just being able to keep their space clean. And monitor who comes in and out, and wiping down everything and changing the linens, and just being very efficient at that. It's just a small amount of space that it would be much easier to contain it. So go on. So yeah, it reduces your exposure to the virus. And then there's an increased concern for safety, and everybody is accustomed to staying at home now, so I think it will be the concierge as a whole should be able to do more. I think it's going to do better, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, we've become a lot more accustomed to the mobility of things, from, just going to a doctor's office these days, or going to, a dermatology office is, there's a lot of things that can be done mobile wise, or go to our home and do, or go to a certain place and do. And so certainly, this forward thinking idea of creating this is something for the future.
For sure. I agree. So here's our new expectations. The patients prefer to be in control. When booking, everything's kind of changed. It's become more innovative, thank goodness. I think they're booking more online. They're doing more online. They're requesting the on-demand services, like with takeout and Amazon and all of that. I think this will lend itself to helping that. And it's convenient, who wouldn't love just to walk outside their front door and get anything done? Pain management, aesthetics, Botox, I don't know, there's so many things, OB-GYN, pre and post-op patients. It is set up to where you would be able to set up if you needed to do a little procedure in there. Nothing with anesthesia, of course, but if you needed to do a little revision, there's room to do that. And so maybe a physician could go and do their pre-op and do their markings and things, and then afterwards go to the home or wherever they're staying. So I think that would be good for a surgeon's perspective also. And the transition to telehealth, they're adapting to it. At first it was a little unusual, especially for like my parents. My mom is calling me, having a problem setting up all of her accounts and paperwork online. But I think even the 70, 80-year-olds are going along with it now. So
yeah,
you can have your medical records in the cloud, so you don't have to have all your charts, along with you. So that's easier than it used to be. And the telehealth benefits everyone. It helps the provider, it helps the patient, everybody benefits from it. Yeah, and now the recent study shows 90% of patients said that they would use telehealth again after trying it. So I think it was just a new thing, and now everybody's adapting and getting used to it, and they're kind of like, wow, this is nice. I don't have to do all of these appointments and running out the door to tell your doc you're okay, or whatever it may be. It's changing. So we're facing the challenge. This is inside the van. This is I was doing a little procedure here, so that's the photo here. We need to embrace the technology and streamline the operations. We don't want to reinvent the practices that are already in business. Maybe this is just something they add to it. To maybe the doc is doing surgery, and on those days he has his RN out, or doing the facial things, and then the following day he wants to do his follow-ups, and he could take the van, or she could take the van and follow up with the patients.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would also reduce your in-office staff. So this is just a great complement, or it can be just the primary way of doing business also. And it should expand. You know, I think the more that people realize that this is out there and it becomes more mainstream, I think it will be the new norm. And that's what I envision it to do. So this is the inside of the van. As you can see, there's medical grade cabinets. The lighting is great in there, so you can see well. We have the GlamCore. We have the GlamCore mirror. The GlamCore is the lighting there. We have the medical grade LED light that comes down. And I think there's a slide here that'll show you that. So there's quite a bit of room for you to work. And the bed is hydraulic. So if you needed to switch sides, say an OB-GYN, you know, I'm sure you could move the table up and be able to be on that side, or, you know, it's not stay the way it is. You could kind of adjust things if you need to. And what makes our Sprinter unique is the premium solar capabilities. So you're not having to plug in all of your machines and equipment. Should run fine without any hiccups. It's 5 of them up at the top there, and the batteries are inside. So I have not had any problem with any of that. It's been great. And so you can perform your treatments on location without having to worry about, you know, if there's electricity or water or things like that. We have it all there.
Completely self-sufficient on its own, standalone.
Gotcha. And there's no generator, so it's not loud or noisy or any of that. So,
wow.
And this is the light. So the gentleman that helped me do it kind of MacGyvered this LED light where it lowers down on the patient on the bed, and it's really good. Really a nice feature to use for your patients.
Wow.
So there's 4 wavelength settings, and it's the wraparound panel, so it's, you know, all around, all enclosed there. So let's see here. Here's more of our features of the van. You can easily store your supplies. In the cabinets there, you can see there's a little trash area where you could put your trash in without touching anything. And it's medical grade cabinets, so everything is up to par. And there's a 32-inch TV, the quartz countertops. We have the GlamCore mirror and professional lighting. So you can, you know, it's nice and bright in there. The interior overhead lighting that we had put in there with the floor lights. There's outlets, 120 volt outlets throughout. There's the USB charging stations, and the WeBoost signal booster, so you can get your good internet service here. Here we go. We had some custom made linens made specifically for the bed, because it's a little different, you know, size. It's not your typical bed. So you can, you know, up and down, you can move the bed really easily. There's suede headliner, multiplex lighting controls, and upgraded speaker system. And then these are our nice comfy spa linens that we had made for it.
Wow.
And then the back here, you can see there's the high gloss wood package is there on the for the cabinets. There's a sink and a water heater for the hot and cold, and a brand new commode. This is what I was talking about, the little seat that the patient can put their belongings on while they go into the treatment.
Okay.
We use the molecule air purifier, which is great. It's I don't know all the specifics on it, but it really helps purify the air. It helps, having people in there and making sure that you're being safe. And then we have a professional steam towel warmer there that you can use on your patients. So the other features we have is the backup camera and the side view camera to make sure you know what you're doing as you're driving to the place. Then there's the touch screen in front. We have a Blue Tech eco-friendly engine. It's tinted windows. The vehicle wrap in black satin and fiberglass running boards. So it's pretty decked out. I don't think anything. I actually put it's a folding kind of accordion type curtain that would pull down from the front, so it's more privacy. And then of course I've got the WeatherTech things to where it's all blacked out, so nobody really knows what's going on in there. It's safe. So for the benefit for the doctors is it would reduce or eliminate their risk or their rent, regardless, whichever one they wanted to do. It's I don't know, most people spend $5,000-$6,000 a month or more on rent, and this, once it's purchased, you can go out and use it all day long for, here in Austin, Botox and filler and all of those things, and microneedling, it would be, used all the time for that. You can charge a premium for the on-demand services, because that's, people will be happy to do that. It's a competitive edge to untapped market, especially here in Austin. And I know other cities have it, but it's not mainstream yet. I've talked to some physicians that are in like Miami, and I know there's more of the concierge medicine. It seems like, I don't know, but maybe on the East Coast, because they are more accustomed with it than some of the other states that I've visited with. So the concierge medicine, it offers ongoing value, convenience incentives for booking, and it supplements the income, and especially if they wanted to hire a PA, RN, or esthetician to run it, it could be utilized a lot. So the benefits for the patients is convenience and ease. There's no travel time for them. They skip the waiting room. Privacy at home. With teenagers and the acneic skin, if you were doing it for aesthetics, it would help. Men, they like the convenience and the kind of discreet way of jumping in and jumping out. And the elderly patients also, they could use it. Time management also, like, it will help you keep on track or on task. If you've got to leave in 30 minutes, you're better on your time. The doctors that we were kind of looking at was the dermatologists and plastic surgeons, minimally invasive procedures, revisions, pre and post-op operation appointments, injectables, PRP injections, Botox filler, and non-invasive treatments. We also have the LED light, microneedling, IPL, and LHR. Top 5 minimally invasive procedures for plastic surgeons are, this is for the ASPS, Botox, filler, the chemical peels, laser hair removal, and microdermabrasion. Those are the top ones, and all of those can be done easily in the van.
Mm.
And it's perfect for house calls. So benefits by specialty for a wellness clinic, you could do the IV hydration and vitamin therapy, hormone optimization, and age management medicine. For a primary care, it could be family medicine or subscription-based practices. Orthopedics, sports medicine, they could do their pain management in there, and the rehab. And then OB-GYN, they could do the prenatal care, subscription-based, and maybe even mammograms, mobile mammogram screening. So this is, yeah, for a practice to start offering patients concierge solutions would be great. And down below is my email, stacy@dermafixaustin.com. And there's another picture of the van there. And I think that
No,
might be
it's great.
Yeah.
So, and go ahead and keep the van up so that folks can kind of see it and understand what it's about there, or one of the photos from the inside of the van. And our guest today you're listening to is Stacy Gilyan. She's the owner of DermaFix. And, you know, ideally you explained who would be good audiences for something like this. In your conversations so far with different healthcare clinics, physicians, you know, nurses, PAs, those and the like, what types of questions are they asking you about it? What, you know, obviously a lot of enthusiasm and incredible interest in this because of its mobility, because it's already pre-built, you know, and it's latest. I mean, you've got the solar panels, it's completely self-sufficient. So you know, this has become kind of your baby, so to speak, for the last few years, you and your team. Ideally, who do you want this to go to? And then secondly, you know, who else could it go to, or what has been the response from the healthcare community that you've spoken with so far? And not just in Austin, but also across the country.
Abroad. Yeah. Just, you know, how much, you know, I've visited with so many. One was a gentleman who was treating elderly patients and needed it to actually treat the patients instead of driving them to the clinics, because he was saying that, you know, people aren't really coming out right now. So that's someone that I'm speaking with about it. Dermatologist. Let me think, OB-GYN, and their question was about the bed moving forward or backwards, and if that could happen. If it's ready to go, which it is, it's spotless, it's brand new, it's ready to be delivered. They're very home health people were interested in it, you know, to do the home health for their patients and offer it. It's ready to go for anybody that could utilize it. I want somebody, whoever, I would hope that it gets a home to where it can be used, and especially during the pandemic right now, I think so many patients aren't going out or not getting their care that they need because they're staying at home, and this could be a solution for them to use. And so I just hope that it can go to somebody that can really utilize it and make the most of it.
Absolutely. And our guest today has been Stacy Gilyan. She's the owner of DermaFix, and she's selling this beautifully equipped and sophisticated technology is equipped in here. One of the questions that I can see being asked as well is, what about those who are elderly, who maybe are, you know, assisted walking with a walker, those types of things? What about handicap access or entering the van? What unique capabilities does it have there?
Well, we have a really large van opening, the opening to get into there, and it has the running boards now. and it has the handle, to help them. Now, if it's more than that, I'm sure there could be a ramp or something that you could get to slide in and out,
Gotcha.
depending on it. But it shouldn't be that's not a hard thing to fix.
Great.
Uh, and it's plenty of room in there for them.
And you mentioned, because this is for those who are thinking about the driving capacity of this, it does have the backup cameras, it does have the enlarged mirrors and so on. It did meet the state standards and the vehicle standards of having everything tied down or nothing will move. So you're not having to worry about a fast turn or that guy who cut in front of you, and you had to slam on the brakes. Things stay in place. And
Yes.
what's been your experience, with that? Have you seen anything shift? Those types of things.
No, not at all. That was one of the gentlemen that helped me do it. That was one of his main concerns, and that's kind of how he MacGyvered that LED light. If you look at this photo here on the right side, there's two double doors there that pop open, and you have all your supplies in there. And I just have like some container store containers in there that fit nicely. Nothing moves. There's also a drawer up there that you can put like your glasses and other, things that you need to get to handy. The one in the middle is for the IndyMed machine that I purchased. It's a radio frequency microneedling machine that you can use or not. It has, it's a large space, so you could put something else in there if need be, and it all is enclosed. And then the last one there, the triangular shaped one, is up at the top. It has for trash, so touch free, and down below is like where your sharps containers and things like that go. In the
Right.
back, there's tons of storage back there, more cabinets that you could keep other things. Underneath here, by the bed, if you go back, you see the salt machine there, and that's what controls the LED light. But also that is your desk area for setup, or you can use the counter if you need to. But it is where I put my utensils and things there, so they're easy to access.
And what about heat and air? Should this go to a physician or a healthcare clinic or whatever, whomever in say Arizona or Florida or Michigan? Cold and hot weather climates. Tell us about the air conditioning heating system. All works well, keeps everybody cool. You never
Exactly.
know. You got those patients.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, no, I think you can see there's plenty of vents here. So in this area here, there's four, and then you also have the AC from the front, and then there's more in the back there also. In Texas, it gets extremely hot. The windows are all tinted, so it's all enclosed. It's very comfortable, very nice. Same for cold. It doesn't really get cold here, but yes, absolutely. And if by chance you needed some more heat, you could always plug in a portable heater if you needed to. Really, really cold areas, but I don't think it would be a necessity.
Yeah.
It's pretty enclosed well.
Well, and our guest today has been Stacy Gilyan. She's the owner of DermaFix, and again, she's selling a Mercedes medically equipped Sprinter van, and again, you said it had 4,500 miles. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if you want to contact her about the price, about the details of it, what's inside of it, you're selling it as an entire package. And it's got some really great features about it. And so go ahead and pull up your email one more time there so that folks can go ahead and have that, or just say your telephone number, your email, however you'd like them to connect with you. This is something that you need to talk with Stacy directly about, because it has so many features and benefits and details. And you have questions probably about it to make, well, does it have this? Does it have this? Can I do this? Could I do this? Those are certainly great questions. And that's something that you should be speaking with Stacy about. So it's Stacy at dermafixaustin.com. And as far as the delivery, that is something that this can be put on a truck safely. nothing will break, and it will be delivered, to you in your particular area or your state, wherever you might see the need for this. And that is what has been your experience in talking with potential buyers or the delivery companies?
Oh, they're ready. They're ready. I have made a couple calls, and they want to put it, they want the business right now. So it's nothing to get it to across country from Texas. It would be a few days at
Yeah,
most.
you
So,
do not have to take a road trip in
no,
order to get this. You can go see it, fly home the same day or next day, and then have it delivered. It's not something that requires you moving in and taking this across country, unless that's what you want. So, Stacy, thank you so much for being our guest today, and we're certainly going to get the word out about this. And you've done a wonderful job of putting this together. I think that it's going to benefit a lot of patients in the future, and I think that it's going to benefit a lot of doctors or nurses or the healthcare community. You've thought so far forward for so many already in the healthcare community, and thought through that process and made it become a reality. And as we say a lot around here, it's not about being the best doctor in the world any longer. It's about being the best doctor for the world, for your patients, and for your local community. And I know that if I saw this in my community, I would be picking up the phone and asking and learning more about it. And how can I get that to my driveway or to my home or my business? So thank you so much for being our guest today, Stacy.
thank you so much. Thank you for having me.